to you by viewers like you. Thanks for your donations.
You know, I didn't really get to know Allison very well. She kind of kept to herself, and I think like in the middle of the season she started knitting or something, and you know, which is something you really do by yourself. And so she would go to her set chair and knit, and that was fine. You know, the ones that I was really close to were Philip and Jack and Anne Marie. Oh, well, both Phillips, yeah. But I know, I forget too that they were there. Well, because we called him Drew, the other Philip. Philip, the Blue Ranger, was like a brother to me. Someone just contacted me about the Power Ranger convention that's coming, Power Morphicon. And I went to the website and I looked at the list of people who were coming, and I was like, no one from my season is going. And so I immediately got online and I contacted Philip. He was the first one. I said, hey, have you heard of this? You know, you want to go? And he wrote me back right away. He's like, yeah, you know, what do you think? Should we go? And I said, I'll go if you go. So I really did get along with him. He was like a brother to me. I saw him, we lost touch, and I saw him a few months ago at an audition, at a commercial audition. And he's doing well, and I really love him. Anne Marie, she's just a sweetheart. I mean, she's like a Southern belle. She is just has a really big heart and is such a good person and was such a joy to be around. Her dressing room was right next door to mine, and my dressing room had this like kind of loft style bed in it, so it was up real high. And so I would kind of like yell over the wall at her and be like, Anne Marie, are you in there? You know, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, come in my room and hang out with me. And she just is a sweetheart. I absolutely love her. Jack Guzman, we lost touch, but he's such a funny, both he and Philip, they had such great chemistry together. But he just is so funny. I remember this one scene, it was at the end of the season when they were doing all the pictures because I guess at the end of the season, he and Philip's characters ended up traveling the world together. That's what ended up happening to them. Well, I remember I don't know if it was Russia or where they went, but they were doing some goofy pictures, and he came out with this crazy outfit with this crazy hat on, and we were all laughing at him. So he starts doing this, you know, crazy dance, and he ripped his pants. They split in the back, and it was so funny. I don't think the wardrobe people were very happy about it, but yeah, he was also just very fun and just goofy. There was another time, so funny, I'll never forget this. We were filming up at the Bronson Caves, and we were all inside the cave, and we were all kind of tired, so we had laid out these blankets on the floor, and we're all laying down like, oh, you know, what's going on? No one had really told us, but I guess they were filming outside of the cave. And so I got my music, and I had my headphones in, and Jack was like, what are you listening to? And so I let him listen to it, and it was like Enrique Iglesias or something ridiculous like that. And Jack started to sing it, and he started to pretend that he was Enrique Iglesias. He was like, have you seen this video? And I think it was the song Hero, or I Can Be Your Hero, whatever song that is. And so he starts to like pretend he's Enrique, like all, you know, suave or whatever. And he ends up walking outside of the cave and like touching the flowers and like trying to be all sexy and trying to be all like Enrique Iglesias. And then we hear yelling, because we didn't know they were filming outside of the cave, but he had walked straight into the shot. And because he had the headphones on, he couldn't hear them yelling. And all we could hear was yelling, get out of the shot! What are you doing? Get out of the shot! Holding the flower. He's like, I can be your hero, baby. And we were just, you know, Philip and I were just looking at him like, you're an idiot, you know. And it was fun. You know, I didn't keep in touch with Drew either. But I saw him, it was so funny. I saw him like 3 years ago or 2 years ago maybe on Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills. I'm like driving down, you know, looking for somewhere to eat, and we're stopped at the light, and I look over And it was Drew. And he was in like a Ferrari or something. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, what did he book? Like, what show is he on, or what movie did he book? So I rolled out my window and I'm like waving at him frantically, and he's like, what's going on? I was like, oh my gosh, what is going on? And I'm like, hello, want to explain this car? And he goes, oh, he's like, I was just driving around the block. He's like, this isn't my car. It's like, okay. But he was a lot of fun too. He was not, he was, I would say, more quiet than, Jack or Phil, but also a very good guy. Ricardo also kept to himself. Yeah. His dressing room was right next door to mine on the other side of, I had Anne-Marie on one side and then Ricardo was on the other side of me. But yeah, he kept to himself a lot. I remember he had a ferret that he would, I think maybe he had 2 ferrets that he would bring to set, and then he had some kittens that he would bring, and I'm allergic to cats, and so I never went into his dressing room when he had those cats in there. They were so cute though, like little kittens. But yeah, he kept to himself, so I never really got to know him too well either. Oh, it was so much fun. It was just a lot of fun to have so many people. I ended up becoming friends with Michael Coban, and Kevin, was that his name? He was he had green hair. I mean, obviously I don't keep in touch with him anymore. I actually think that he quit acting to like go to grad school or something like that at UCLA or something like that, or maybe I'm mixing him up with someone else. They were all so nice, and it was fun. It created a different dynamic on set. It wasn't just us anymore. There were other Power Rangers. I did a pilot called The Stones with Judith Light, who was she's on Ugly Betty. Yeah, she's the mother of Daniel. So that was fun because I kind of grew up watching Who's the Boss, and she was Angela. And so it was fun to be on a show with her, and there were other great actors on that show. And it was sitcom, so it was totally different. And we did it in front of a live studio audience, so that was really different. And I remember I think I cried right before I went out because it was either that or I was going to throw up. Like I was so nervous because there were all these people out there, and I was used to working on Power Rangers where nobody's there. I mean, we had a lot of kids from Make-A-Wish Foundation come, and the Starlight Foundation, but it wasn't like a studio audience that was expecting you to make them laugh. So that was fun. And that was when I really thought, I could do this sitcom stuff. I love laughing and I love making people laugh. And so that would be my dream, to like get my own sitcom. Designing a line of swimsuits. They're inspired by Audrey Hepburn, and they're, retro vintage swimsuits. I've been writing a book for 2 years, and it's like my little project, my little baby. It's geared towards teenagers, so it has to do with one of the chapters that I'm actually fixing right now, deals with body image distortion, eating disorders, and body dysmorphic disorder. And it's more of a coffee table style book. So, because, I feel like teenagers would rather pick up a magazine than pick up a book. So it has a lot of fashion photography, and all of the fashion is inspired by like Grace Kelly and Audrey Hepburn and Jackie O and like the 1950s and that style. So yeah, so I write it, and I'm also styling the book and working with a photographer who's shooting all the pictures. And I'm using, real teenage girls who are like awesome role models, and they're beautiful, and they're all different shapes and sizes. I remember, I think it was the year after Wild Force, going to one of those conventions. It was in Long Beach, and I can't remember which one it was, but I remember going there to see my friend and walking around and seeing all these people dressed like me. I mean, like my character. And it was really freaky to me. I was like, wait, what's going on? And then someone recognized me. And, then my friend was like, oh, we got to get you out of here. He's like, we got to get you out of here now. And so then we just left. But it was kind of surreal. Yeah, it was fun to see how, people are so into it and they love it, Thank you. Thank you. And I look forward to seeing you at Power Morbicon.